of Man.
Final round of the Open Championship, the sun-drenched Isle of Man, recovering from TTs and bike Grand Prix, prepared itself for another high-speed assault. High-speed tarmac and the introduction of chicanes only fractionally slowing down the cars. This is Pentti Ricola in the Astra GTE leading the championship Group A. The drivers especially reliant on co-drivers, as this is a pace note rally, and Ronan McNamee explains exactly what that means.
It means that a few weeks before each event, or sometimes the weekend before, we go over the course, and Pentti and I do a low-speed reconnaissance of the course, and he calls to me each bend and corner and jump, and I write that down in my form of shorthand.
So this is your form of shorthand, Ronan. What's it all about?
Okay, so if we look at the start, this is stage number 6, and in the top left-hand corner we have 50, which is the distance, and then we have right 4, which is a right-hand bend, which is reasonably severe, followed suddenly by a left 5 narrow, caution, a bridge, then 50 metres, chicane 7, one of these famous chicanes. We've graded those in numbers as well. 600 then is the distance, left 6 short, quite a severe bend, 200, another chicane, and where you see something like right 5 break into left 6 long underlined, that means I've got to read that together.
50, right 4, suddenly left 5 narrow, caution bridge. 50, chicane 7. 600, left 6 short, 200, chicane 7, 100, right 5, break into left 6 long.
Pentti, why that form of shorthand? Why numbers are not descriptive terms?
I think it's a dumb driver like me understands that 5 is a bigger number than 1, say, for example. I think it is, but really it is a question about that the numbers are very short words, like 1, 2, 3, and so on, and they are quite different from each other, so it's easier in a noisy rally car to hear and to understand it. There's no point to have a bass note if you don't understand it, or you don't, if he is not quick enough to read them. So the number system, I'm sure, is the one which is in the future everybody is going to use.
Tony Pond, local Isle of Man resident, World Championship star, leads the event away from Douglas Promenade. Pond, 3 times winner of the Manx, and with his knowledge of the event, he'd been employed in sighting the straw bale chicanes that were needed to bring the average speeds down to FISA requirements. And Pond, making his only championship appearance of the season, thought that he was going pretty quick on the first stage. But then Pond discovered that he was 3 seconds slower than the Metro of Jimmy McRae, the winner in Ulster, already right on course for the Open title. But there was no doubt that championship leader Mark Lovell was also trying hard in the Ford RS200. Defending champion Russell Brooks, Manx winner last year, for him only a distant hope of repeating that double in the 2-wheel drive Manta with its massive power disadvantage. And a rare glimpse nowadays of an Audi Quattro. This is West German Harold de Muth in the David Sutton entered car. It met an early demise. And the man they call Mickey Finn, Michael Sundstrom, Scottish winner in the Peugeot. And then there was David Llewellyn. All those well-recorded calamities of the earlier rounds put to the back of his mind as the Circuit of Ireland winner went for a good finish on the Isle of Man. The Skoda of John Haugland going for what's become a customary class win. This year, though, wasn't to be. The initial exchanges confirmed that this was to be a metro rally. Early pace setter Jimmy McRae with Ian Grindrod reading the pace notes. Keeping up the pressure, Mark Lovell in the Ford RS200. Already for him, though, early signs of problems, with the car cutting out briefly on the left-hand bends. Llewellyn also struggling with handling problems, the Welshman lying fourth. But sweeping into the lead after being beaten on the first stage, the Metro of Tony Pond and co-driver Rob Arthur. And Michael Sundstrom handling problems for him in the Peugeot. The early high-speed action was taking an unusual toll on the Group B cars. The problem here for Russell Brooks, apart from lack of horsepower and four-wheel drive, was a bad attack of flu. The defending champion battled on. Towards the end of day one, Pond leads. Jimmy McRae second and content to let Pond disappear as long as Mark Lovell stayed behind him. The priority was the championship. Over 2 minutes behind McRae's teammate David Llewellyn. And then came Sundstrom, having clipped a corner after a spin on one stage. And fifth was Lovell, his championship hopes only faintly alive after problems that continued right to the end of the day.
Leaving service after the last stage, the gearbox jammed in first gear just as we were pulling out, so we had to stop and make another gearbox, well, make a gearbox change. So we got to within the maximum time by 1 minute, so we're just going, but we've lost 2 minutes 20.
Not Lovell's day, but even second place McRae wasn't especially happy.
We have a gearbox problem. An oil seal has gone in the box and it's blown all the oil out. We're going to change the box now, but the vans have been held up in a traffic jam further back the road, so we're hoping that we'll get in any minute.
When did this happen, Jimmy?
2 stages ago it started losing oil. It was pushing oil into the centre diff, and the centre diff was getting red hot.
So has it affected your times?
Not a lot, because Mark Lovell has dropped back, so we've been backing off the revs a bit, and we've dropped a few seconds to